All right, a pleasant good evening to one and all. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening in the class of Steele. Today is Monday, the 6th of December and 2021. And this evening we are privileged to have the debut class by Chuka Emeka. He will be debuting this evening, his first opportunity to share in the class of Steele. We're having some technical challenges. He's in Nigeria, and there's some technical challenges in the earlier start of the broadcast while we were doing our sound check. So if there are any difficulties, we will be having Chuka Emeka come back a day next week, maybe, and complete his class as he started. But without any further ado, I want to welcome Her Excellency Ambassador Doreen Burunji, our COO for the class of Steele. I want to welcome her to the class of Steele this evening. I also want to welcome our Chief of Protocol, His Excellency Dr. Donald Ewers out of the United Kingdom. I want to identify the person of Her Excellency Bishop Dr. Comfort Adu out of Ghana. And now joining us this evening, we also have His Excellency Olusegun Olukoya, our youth president for the class of Steele, and Olukoya is based in Nigeria. I want to also identify one of our partners and one of the key persons within what we are doing in our humanitarian work in the person of Margaret Ahmed out of Nigeria for the Homemakers Women Development Initiative. And I think I want to take this time to invite you to join us on Wednesday, where we will be sharing some very important information with you and what we are doing with our philanthropic and humanitarian works in Nigeria and throughout Africa. And with that, we will have Margaret Ahmed joining us to share some more about that and the ambassadorial appointments that we are putting in place within the United Nations. So again, thank you so very much for joining with us, Dr. Charles. We also have Reverend Daniel Sapuru, who is responsible for those in the Franco region. And he is also with us. He's based in Nigeria. It's lovely to have Reverend Daniel Sapuru with us this evening, Adiola Olukoya, and my wife, First Lady Jeannie Steele. You're welcome to this evening session. And of course, all of you who are watching and listening on either LinkedIn, Facebook, or our other social medias, YouTube platforms. Thank you so very much for joining with us. Without any further ado, let me go straight over to Chuka Emeka, and he is going to give you his name, where he's from, and the presentation that he will be sharing this evening. Chuka Emeka, please go ahead.
Good evening, Your Excellency, Bishop Dr. Michael Steele, Her Excellency Jenny Steele, His Excellency Dr. Donald U.S., Her Excellency Ambassador Doreen Burunji, and all the excellencies in the house. My name is Chuka Emeka Anthony of the class of Steele. So tonight we'll be looking at my personal uniqueness. And first of all, I want to apologize for the technical hiccups from the beginning. It's due to our peculiar and unique characteristics here in Nigeria. I want us to look at the background to what we have now. I think the background it dates back to Friday night out with His Excellency, where the Chief of Protocol brought up an issue of the dress code of Rihanna, and that brought in a lot of debates, and everybody had their own opinion about how modest or not, or how not modestly the lady dressed. But in the end, His Excellency made us understand that it is quite important for someone to be him or herself. And that gave rise to gave birth to the topic where he asked me to look at my personal uniqueness. So if the starting off on that note, I will look at, first of all, what it means to be unique. So for something to be unique, it has to be something that is only one of its kind, something distinguished, something remarkable, special, or something unusual. That is what it means to be unique. And personal, I think personal is clear. I'm trying to look at the expression of my personal uniqueness. So it's something that has to do with me. So as we consider uniqueness, we'll take it back to each and every one of us and make it personal. So what is personal uniqueness? Personal uniqueness is that act or that quality or that characteristics that distinguishes a person from others, that makes a person stand out from a group of other people or other things. So this topic now, we will have to look at how or what is the need of identifying my personal uniqueness. Why do I need to identify and work in my personal uniqueness? There are quite a lot of things I've itemized. It was because of the blackout that I was not able to prepare a slide for that. I would have been showing us on the screen. So number one, it's for self-identity. If I'm talking about the need for one to identify his or her personal uniqueness, it's for self-identity. In the case of the background of the topic that I gave earlier concerning the lady Rihanna, we understand that if anytime one sees Rihanna appear or sees such figures, there is this identity they carry with them because of their unique way they present themselves, because of what they represent, because of how they carry themselves. They are easily identified. So when one discovers his or her own uniqueness and work towards it, that unique quality of that person is going to give that person an identity, and that person can be easily distinguishable or distinguished from among his or her equals. So next one is the need to be authentic. When one actually self-identifies or distinguishes him or herself, that person becomes authentic. The person doesn't want to be like other people. The person is the person is him or herself. The person becomes him or herself without any form of imitating another. So that is authenticity. So the third point is confidence. So why do I need to identify my uniqueness? If I identify my uniqueness, it makes me to be confident. This confidence aspect of uniqueness is in such a way that when one is working in him or herself, that person tends to carry him or herself in a special way because the person is sure that, yes, this is me. This is who I am. I am not trying to pretend. I'm not trying to be like another. I'm not trying to conform in the shape of another. So it builds up self-confidence in the person who has identified his or her uniqueness. So the fourth one, when someone is self-confident, the person will now build a sense of security. Here I mean that the person can feature anywhere without any form of intimidation or any form of being afraid of what might come up tomorrow. So identifying and working in one's personal uniqueness gives one a sense of security. The fifth need is that one feels at ease at all times. Looking at the personality of the figure that I've been using as a point of reference, throughout the event, she was always at ease. Even when eyes were making contact, she was at ease. She was herself. There was no need to be tense. There was no need to try to cover up anything. She was her pure self throughout. So in all these, when one identifies the needs and works in his or her personal uniqueness, it enables one to discover the areas of strength and weakness. Now, if one discovers his or her areas of strength and weakness, the person will then work towards strengthening his area of strength or making it better, and working on the area of weakness so as to make the area of weakness more improved to meet up to standard of what is required of the person. So these are the needs for one to identify and work in one's personal uniqueness. Then let's look at, okay, I've now known the need for me to identify my personal uniqueness. How do I go about discovering my uniqueness? All these unique talents that we are endowed with, they are always embedded in us, both consciously and unconsciously. They show themselves. For instance, one can ask him or herself, how did I love to spend my time as a child? This is a question that is important. What kind of activities did I enjoy while I was very young? You know, when I was looking at this topic, it reminded me of my youthful days or my infancy days. That's what I would call it. My infancy days. Though I was not opportune to grow with my mother, I grew up and I saw my grandmother. So each time my peers were playing around, my elder brother always want to go and play football. I find myself always clinging to my grandmother, and she was this all going out, you know, I would say evangelical stuff, because she was more into church. So I will always go with her to any meeting they go into church. Anytime they visit their members, I was always with her. So during that time, I enjoyed moving from place to place. It gives me the highest pleasure in life during that time. And equally, I enjoyed listening into discussions. When they were discussing, they discussed, you know, I enjoyed such things. So what the activities you enjoyed when you were younger will point to you towards what could actually be part of the thing or things that make you unique. Secondly, what makes you feel authentic? So what kind of activity that when you perform them, you feel, oh, I'm original, I'm authentic, I'm myself. I've not walked into anybody's shoe. This is me. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud doing this type of thing. So when someone thank you, why did the person thank you? Because thank you gives you a sense of, okay, you have actually met with someone's need. Now, then you ask yourself, why did this person thank me? It points to your hidden uniqueness, your hidden talent that you have used to meet the person in his point of need. So in doing this, one needs to write them down. You write down things you love doing. You take note of things that I love doing. After checking the things you do when you are a child, you have to note everything down. What makes me feel authentic? When people say thank you, why do they thank me? So another one, they call it stream of consciousness. You can take like 15 minutes, put a stopwatch, and start writing the things that when you do them, people will actually appreciate you and you will be happy for that. Those are the things that make you authentic. So when 15 minutes is up, you can look at them. They are all pointing towards your uniqueness. Thirdly, what are you passionate about as an adult? Now that we are fully grown, or I have fully grown, what are the things that I'm passionate about? They point to my innate abilities, what I have been endowed with. So what kind of thing do I love to do? What motivates and lights me up? Most times I see myself, each time I am among people that discuss important issues, I become so happy. I don't want to leave. These point to some uniqueness that could make you stand out from your equal. You note all these things down. What can I do when time is passing? I'm not even aware and I don't care. I enjoy doing it without recourse to time. They point at what make me unique, because those kind of events or situation or actions, I can do them without being paid for it. As you can see, or you can see that some people we want or love meeting other people's needs, even if it warrants, even if the person has nothing to gain from it, the person is just happy, feel fulfilled when he meets someone's need. He could point to personal, what is unique about the person. So there are a lot of things that one can check. You can look at the area of health. What is it that you value about your health? Your family, what is it that you value about your family? Your career, your personal development, your relationship, your spirituality, your religion, your recreation. What are the things you value about them? What makes you excited or feel that you have met a need? You pen them down. On the fifth one, you ask yourself, you ask your family, your friends, and your co-workers, okay, what is it about me that you enjoy or that makes me unique? Because you and I know that when you choose your friends, there must be a particular reason why you choose a particular person. There must be something unique about the person that you have chosen as your friend. So if they ask you about your friend, okay, Chukwuemeka, this is your friend. What is it about this your friend that you like or that entices you? I should be able to point out, oh, this person is funny. Anytime the person comes into a meeting, the person lights up the whole place. Okay, each time I have a tough situation, I meet this friend. He or she always have a solution, and once I apply the solution, I always get good results. So in the same way you know your friends, that is how your friends and family know you. So you can equally ask them, okay, what is it about me? Please, can you help me identify one or two things about me that make me unique? They can help out. So you note which attributes other point at you. When you meet people and do things, you note what is it that they always point at when you are with them. Hey, my friend, you are smart. I like your courage. I like your dress sense. I like maybe your tonal sense, the way you sing, your voice, the way you approach problem, your maturity. I love them. So they point at your personal uniqueness. So these are the ways that one can discover his or her personal uniqueness. But in all this, you must make sure you note them down. And when you have done noting them down, you will now sit and prioritize them, write them, put them in the order of priority, how you now value them. So you prioritize them. When you prioritize them, look at them. They carry the signature of your uniqueness. So these are the ones I mentioned now are how do I discover my uniqueness? So this will enable someone to find out what makes the person unique. So now let's look at, during my research, I stumbled on a write-up from a blogger. His name is Bijan Kogi from www.coachingonline.org. So he gave 13 ways to embrace your uniqueness. So these 13 ways, they are very, very important for us. After identifying my uniqueness, after identifying your uniqueness, there is need for you to find a way to imbibe it into you and work with it and run with it. And when that is done, you achieve a goal. Number one, he said that remind yourself the importance of uniqueness. So what are the importance of uniqueness? That's what you ask yourself. I think I mentioned the need earlier, to what the need to identify one's uniqueness. So you emphasize these needs and the importance they accord to you. When you understand the benefit of something, it makes you go after it. So you focus on your true self, and each time you focus on your true self, energy flows naturally from within you to achieve your aim, because you are being yourself. And note that unique is rare, and therefore it is valuable. Being unique is rare, as we defined from the beginning. You stand out. So that characteristics is very rare to come by, and it's always valuable. Standing out makes you interesting when you are unique. Now, there's no place that the lady we are that I'm using as a point of reference will appear, and fans will not be all over the place appreciating her, because she is unique and she has become interesting to a lot of people. So you can leverage on your unique values to bring a difference. Instead of following everyone in everything they do, you can chart your own course and bring something different from what other people are doing. So, and bring diversity into solutions or places. You inspire others through your authentic confidence, because being unique gives one authenticity and confidence. So when you are authentic, when you are confident and you're authentic, you inspire a lot of people. They will say, "Oh, I love the way this lady carries herself. I love the way this person approaches issue. I love this person's maturity." It inspires others to be better human beings the way you are. So and another one, when you identify your goals, it will be easier and attainable. When you identify your life goals from the unique qualities you carry, it will be easier to achieve your goals, and your goals will be attainable because it is unique to you. You are not trying to copy anybody. So another one, you are powerful in your singular identity. When you appear only yourself with what you have to offer, you will become an authority there. You become powerful there. People surround you and accept you the way you are. Another part of the reason and the importance that you should remind yourself is that if you are unique and authentic to yourself, you will attract unique love. No fake individual or fake love will come to you. People will love you for whom you are, for your personality, not for whom you claim to be, that you are not. Because when you claim to be somebody, people will relate to you based on the personality you are projecting. And that personality you are projecting is not you. It wouldn't give you fulfillment. And you attract the wrong kinds of people. So the second point of 13 ways to embrace your uniqueness is understanding and accepting diversities in humanity. This is a fact. Each and every individual is unique and different. There are no two individuals that are exactly the same thing. The same way human fingerprints are distinct, so are humanity and uniqueness distinct in every individual. So you identify that each individual has a purpose and uniquely given qualities to help fulfill that purpose. That individual purpose that each individual is given in life, there are qualities uniquely given to that individual to fulfill that purpose. So you understand that in diversity, you have to be yourself and work with your own unique qualities to fulfill your own purpose, not following what other people are doing. You know, some people are great thinkers, some people are strategists, some people are leaders, while some people are followers. So if you identify your own and embrace it, you will do very well in such an area. So you must strive to understand who you are and express yourself the best you can. So no one else can beat you in yourself. When you express yourself the way you are, no human being on earth can beat you in yourself, in that your unique glitch. So the third point there is you deal with your story. In this part of it, you don't try to be anybody. You know, the society has a conditioned us to the way we dress, the way we speak, the way we walk, the way we act, the way we react to people, the way everything should be. So we must not conform to, or we must not always conform to the way other people are. And so that we'll be treated uniquely to our personality. So this is dealing with your own story. And if peradventure I discover that I have built my life on wrong foundations, wrong background, toxic values, toxic voices, you don't do this, these are not for women, these are not for men, all those feminine discrimination to make women feel less important. So if you have built yourself on that, it's time for you to calm down and say, okay, this is the mistake I have done. It's better for me now to rebuild my foundation, because you know the Bible of the Christians says that foundation once destroyed, what can the righteous do? If you build your life entirely on a wrong foundation, it cannot stand. You will end up seeing that at the tail end of your life, you will not be fulfilled. So it's important for you to dig up your psychological roots and the results that you have buried in your life. Dig them up and fix them now. There's no time that is too late to identify yourself and work and run with yourself. The fourth one is you battle your fears. You know, human beings are allergic to change because of a lot of fears. What about if I say this now, or if I take up this opinion, what would society say of me? If I pursue my career, what my family say of me? These fears of having unique opinion that is different from other people, the fear of standing out, the fear of being rejected because of your uniqueness or your opinion, or the fear of failing. Because when someone says, okay, let me pursue my unique abilities, there is this tendency of me saying, what happens if I fail? So one needs to face his or her fear, conquer them, and go out and express oneself. Because in doing that, in doing something different, comes with reward. And this reward can only come when you have conquered the fear that pull you back from being yourself and conforming to other people's way of seeing things. The fifth one, you identify and prioritize what is unique about you. I think we have mentioned that, how to identify and prioritize what's unique about you, about yourself. So the sixth one, you accept that you cannot please everyone. In your uniqueness, in following what God has put in you, you must accept that not everybody will accept you. Whether you belong to everybody, whether you conform to everybody, there must be people that will say, this one, anything that everybody is doing is always there. If you are unique and stand out, people will say, this one, you always stand out. So accept that people will not everybody can be pleased, and go on and follow your uniqueness and your ability, your unique ability. The seventh one, refuse to follow expectations that are not you. When the society conforms you and expects you to behave in a manner, if they are not your real self, you must desist from following them, because there are so many expectations from all angles, your family, your religion, your culture, everywhere. They're expecting you to behave in a particular way. And this part could only be leads you to maybe you become unfulfilled. But if you follow your expectations, the ones that are only you, it will lead you, it can lead to lonely paths, can lead to frustration. But you must know that in the end, when you stick strictly to that your ability, work towards them, improve them, and strengthen them, it leads to a rewarding ending. So you will see endings that are rewarding. If we look at a lot of people in our societies that have dared to do the unimagiнаbles, it's always rewarding. They step out of their shell, out of what people will say, they always reap high rewards at the end of it, though it's always not easy. But one must refuse to give up, refuse all the distractions, and follow on, and get a unique result that is unique to you. On number 8, you accept and love yourself. See, self-love, there's nothing can be compared to it. You must accept this is who I am, and love yourself. You must accept that, okay, though I'm not perfect, but I've identified my ability and my weakness. I've identified my abilities and my weakness, and I'm working towards making it better. I'm working on my flaws to make it better. So accept yourself and work towards making it better. Do not just give up on the way. Number 9, when you want to embrace your uniqueness, you must always stick around your pack, the people that have like minds. Oh, sorry, I have a light out again. Well, I mean, I don't know if, okay, sorry for that. There is another light out here. The generator just went off. So you must choose to spend time with your pack, the people of your like mind, the people that think same way that you do. So when you do this, they will enable you to work on yourself, bring out a better version of you, conquer your fears, and achieve your goal. Number 10, you express yourself in skills. So this aspect, because of your uniqueness, probably in problem solving, when you solve people's problem, or you show yourself when there are serious issues, probably life-threatening issues, and you show up and bring a solution, you have shown your skill. If you are good at fashion, you exhibit your fashion skills. People will know you because of that. When you express yourself in that manner, people will pick interest in you and want to get to know you more and help you in achieving your unique goals. The 11th one, you must get comfortable with criticisms, because no matter what you do, no matter how correct you are, people will always criticize you. And that is the more reason why you should embrace criticism. Someone who is trying to be him or herself must not look at criticism as a way to destroy or derail him or herself from being or expressing him or herself. You should embrace criticism and use your critics to improve on yourself and become successful in what you do and your entire life. Because criticizing your uniqueness shows that the person does not understand you. So if someone is criticizing your uniqueness, the way the statement came that Friday night, after the debate and everything, Mr. US actually confessed that he did not look at the issue from the perspective that our mentor brought it. And this aspect of it now will enable someone to be, to improve in life. So when you are criticized, do not outrightly reject it. Use it to watch yourself, get improvement. If the person does not have understanding of your personality, it is an avenue to either explain yourself, or if it's not worth it, you can just keep mute and allow and move on. Allow the person to go or to continue believing whatever the person wishes to believe. Number 12, comparison. So comparison, you use comparison when when you compare yourself or people compare you to the status quo. I say, why are you not behaving like this? Why are you not behaving like this? You should equally, just like criticism, accept it, because comparison is with human beings, in as much as it's not right for you to compare yourself with people's goals. You equally cannot run away from measuring yourself with other people. So do not outrightly reject comparison, but compare yourself in another way. Instead of desiring to be like other people, you let their progress remind you of your uniqueness and the need for you to tread your unique path. Deal with your unique circumstances and get your exceptional, unique result at your own unique time. So you use comparison and say, okay, because this person is unique, or this person has been unique all along, and the person has attained greatness. Okay, let me maintain my own uniqueness. Let me maintain my life essence. Let me maintain my life goals. I know that as long as this person succeeded in his or her own, my own, I'm going to succeed on my own at the long run. The 13th and the final reason or ways of embracing one's uniqueness. The 13th one is you regard self-accountability high. One must always stop acting in certain ways so that others can thank you, or manner that people will be proud of you. You must stop it. You must go your way and always ask yourself, always be true to yourself, be honest to yourself, and always end your day with, okay, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of not being or not behaving like other people. Though I might not have achieved great results like other people, but at least my today version has been better than my yesterday version. Though my movement is not quite huge, but I'm making progress and I'm unstoppable until I get to my destination. So these are the 13 reasons or the 13 ways to embrace your uniqueness. And I believe that when we follow these, we will achieve our God-given talents. So in summary of everything, one, we must be unique, stand out from among every other person, maintain our personal given gifts, the needs that we must be, that it helps us to be confident, it helps us to identify to maintain self-identity anywhere we show up. People know us and people identify us, we become authentic, we have a sense of security, and all have you. Then we discovering ourselves, what are the general things that I love doing, that I can do without being paid for it, and I will be happy. The things that I enjoy doing without recourse to time. What are important to me about life? These are the things. After listing them, prioritize them. Then you now find ways to embrace yourself. And I think this way we'll draw our curtain. And it's very important because when you follow your path in life, you always, in the tail end, though you might not make the huge progress like others along the line, but at the tail end, great progress will come. And you will actually beat your chest and say, yes, I did it in my unique way, not the way other people are doing it. I did it in my unique way and I achieved my own results. So thank you, Bishop Dr. Michael Steele and the class of Steele for this opportunity to contribute my little self. So I'm very sorry once again for the unique characteristics of the place we are in and what we have to face and pass through. And for not being able to present the class as it ought to be. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I hand over the class back to Your Excellency. Thank you.
Come on, let's celebrate Chukwuemeka. Come on, I wish some more of you had your cameras on that you could see that we actually celebrate you this evening. Chukwuemeka, well done as your mentor. I am pleased to discover that you have voice and you're capable of delivering on a subject matter, and also we can confidently call on you to make a presentation. So before I do what mentors are supposed to do, I'm going to hand over to His Excellency Dr. Donald Ewers, who will moderate the questions and comment section of this evening's presentation, which I think you did a good job. But again, I am not here to tell you you do a good job. I'm trying to get you to do a perfect job. So after His Excellency Dr. Ewers completes the process of seeing the comments and a little bit of feedback from the others, then I will give my personal feedback and my percentage for your presentation this evening based on delivering on the uniqueness about yourself, your uniqueness. Your Excellency, Dr. Donald Ewers, over to you for the moderating of this evening's discussion session, please.
A pleasant good evening to you, sir, Your Excellency, Dr. Steele. Chukwuemeka, could we give him a wave, a class of Steele wave? Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm humbled, sir. Thank you.
You have made us feel proud, and we always have a small beginning, and I can never forget Doreen, Her Excellency Doreen, when she started. I don't even think Doreen could open her mouth. You couldn't hear what she said. No, this is a high flyer now. We can send her to Dubai. We can send her to the UK to speak on the behalf of the class of Steele. So this is a platform where we are all here to support, to help, to mentor, to engage. And we just like the way your consistency, we just like the way you deliver your speech, and they're always, it's a work in progress. I'm not here and Dr. Steele not here to knock you down any form of way, but it's a work in progress, and we all have to start. I don't know if most people who learn to drive, the first time you go around a car and the steering wheel to drive, how nervous it was. And so tonight we just salute you, young man, that you have done well. And we are talking about uniqueness. You're talking about uniqueness, and my take on the uniqueness before I open the floor. Fantastic topic that you've chosen. And it all started off from Rihanna and me and Dr. Steele there. Dr. Steele, I had so many comments after that. And I looked on the what is called YouTube after. I think we had 100, at the time I looked, it was 103 viewers. As you rightly say, the platform that we on, we have other international viewers, and there was 103 viewers listening to us on that debate. Would you believe it or not? And so it is really, and it's not only just me talking about it, this has gone globally. talking about the dress code. But tonight we're not talking about Rihanna, we're specifically talking about uniqueness. And one of the things that just to add on to the take of what you're saying is it's a rare out of ordinary person when you have uniqueness, the attitude of a unique person, your experience, your habit, your creativity, your taste, your goal, your habit, your passion. And adding on to what you're saying and the quality, defining and daringness of being unique, the talents, your skill, your belief, and there is a story of every person who being unique. And I just like to open the floor on that and not to elaborate too much on it about, we all have a story, being a unique person. We all have a talent. We all have a belief. We all have certain quality of our uniqueness. So on that note, the first person I'm going to call is Adiola. Adiola, please unmute yourself there and tell us what you take on uniqueness topic on the platform tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening to Dr. Michael Steele. Good evening to everyone in the house today. It's a privilege to be here this evening. And thank God for this opportunity to say something to what has been said this evening. And I really want to appreciate our brother that has spoken this evening on personal uniqueness. Thank God for everything he has said this evening. In addition to what he has said, we know that personal uniqueness is not just it's not just seeing yourself the way you see others see you, but being different from others. When he was talking and I was looking at what personal uniqueness is, what I got from it is that you are just one of a kind.
Yes.
You're different from others. You're not the same. There's sometimes that we try to copy others, but there's no way you can be like others. You still be yourself. And you see some of our youth today, some people, they say, okay, who is your role model? Some of them will say, this person is my role model, that person is my role model, this one is that, Some try to copy this and copy that. There's no way you can be that person. But there's something that is unique, that is different, from other, that is just personal to you alone. And that's what brings about personal uniqueness. It means that, you are just, it involves a person's distinctiveness in relation to others. When they talk about something, they say, oh, if it is this person, this is who he is. Just like Minister Hewitt said, it has to do with our personality, our attitude, our experiences in life, our habits, our creativity, our perspective, our taste. It has to do with our goals, it has to do with our passion, our hobbies. If you have twins in the house, although they may be identical, but they can never have the same, the same habit. They can never have the same personal uniqueness. They will be different, from each other. And that is how God has created every one of us. Now, coming to what Emeka said this evening, I just want to say this out, that that sometimes in having our own personal uniqueness, some people try to copy others. I think the aspect I just want to speak out is to learn to have positive personal uniqueness, to learn to have personal uniqueness that that's quite different from others, that are not they are not bad but good habit, good attitude in life, having passion for things that will add value to life, having good personalities. Those are the things we need to be very careful of. When people are talking about us, oh, if it is this person, he will not do this. If it is that person, he will not do this. And then, there'll be some other people that will do something that say, oh, if it is that person, that's the kind of person he is going to do that. But we, thank God for the group we belong to. We are talking of leaders, not just leaders, but leaders that are going to affect our generation, leaders that are going to affect the people coming after us, leaders that are going to leave great impact. So we cannot, afford to do things, that will tarnish our image, or do things, that will belittle, the work that has been committed into our hands. So, relating it to ourselves as leaders, in various places that God has placed us, or where we've been given opportunity to serve, we cannot afford to have, a bad, bad personality. We cannot have bad attitude. We cannot have a bad habit. We cannot have, bad taste. We cannot have a bad passion. We can't have wrong perspective in life, because when we have those things, they'll definitely affect, what we represent and what we're supposed to do in life. So thank you very much, Chukwemeka. You've actually spoken, and when you were saying, some of your points, what came to my mind is that, in as much as I am I'm a great figure that I want to build up, a personality that people will represent. People will respect. There are things I cannot do. There are things I just have to avoid doing it. When our children, it's something we tell them all the time. There are sometimes they want to do some things. Okay, like there was a particular time, our young, we have only one boy, he wanted to keep a kind of a haircut. And my husband, asked him and said, will a king do this? Will a prince do this? Because, if you see yourself as a prince, as a king, as someone to be respected, in the society, there are some ways you will not behave. And that has to go into our consciousness, so that when we appear, anywhere we appear, we'll be known for those good qualities. Thank you very much. Let me allow others to contribute to what has been said. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, Dr. Yours, kindly allow me, please, if I may interrupt you briefly, please.
Thank you, sir. Yes, you may, sir.
We want to identify the person of His Majesty King Edwin Madu. Your Majesty, thank you so very much for joining us this evening in the class of Steele. Always such a pleasure to have you with us. And we would like, if you are available to Your Majesty, for you to just greet us and our audience with this evening's message. Your Majesty, you're welcome.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele. Thank you, all the excellencies in the house this evening. My greetings goes to my dear brother, Dr. Chukwuma. I listened to his way of presentation and uniqueness, and in a unique way he presented it this night. It's quite interesting. I noticed and jotted down a lot of things. What makes you stand out? What is uniqueness? His personal character, his role model, I mean, the line that he followed to maintain that instinct that in him that makes him to stand out, to be different from others, to pursue his goals and later achieve it. It was a unique presentation, and I say bravo. Off and on, please. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for your submission, Your Majesty. And again, you're welcome, and we look forward to seeing you in continued classes. And Your Majesty, I still want you to prepare yourself. You are yet to share in the class, Your Majesty. I'm still waiting for you to say, Dr. Steele, I'm ready.
I'm ready any day, anytime. I'm very, very ready any day, anytime. Okay.
It is very, very good to see you, Your Majesty, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to know we're back home safely as well.
Yeah. I thank God for a journey. Mercy,
It is well, Your Majesty. Thank you so very much.
Very good.
Please, over to you, Dr. Ewers. Thank you so very much for allowing me. Back to you, Dr. Ewers.
Thank you, Dr. Steele, and we appreciate you, Your Excellency, King Edwin. Now I'm just going to ask Doreen, Her Excellency Doreen, to unmute yourself and give us your take on uniqueness.
Good evening, Your Excellency, Dr. Minister Ewers. Good evening.
Good evening.
Excellency, Doctor. Good evening, Your Excellency, and every excellency in the house and all those that have come to join us tonight. I would like to first thank Chuka Emeka for his wonderful presentation. I have learned really, it has been really very educative, and this is my submission. The topic tonight was, just hold on. Your uniqueness, embracing your uniqueness. Many times people grow up and they grow up in age and they don't even know their uniqueness, and they don't know how to put to use or to use their uniqueness. So once someone can be as old as myself or even older than me, but they do not know, they're not aware of who they are. So once you know who you are, you're definitely going to go beyond the sky. You're going to put your uniqueness into use. Many times down in where we are in Africa, many people grow up in families and they are never told who they are, and it takes them a lifetime to discover themselves. There was somebody who went among my staff, and he was asking them about me, who is Doreen? And the feedback I got, this time the feedback was really, really nice. They said she's our boss, she's a good person, and she is friend. They said me, I think she's my friend, but she's not my friend that I know everything, that she knows everything about me, but she's friendly to everybody. We love her. We love her administration. We get to work well when she's in this office. And when I got that feedback, I said, you mean I have impacted these people this way? I did not know about this. And inside of me, I felt so happy and so fulfilled that no one had ever told me that they actually am very good. I inspire them to work and do better. I was appreciated from the feedback I got from the consultant who was going around asking about the staff. How am I? So I'm like, I'm in my uniqueness, in my uniqueness, which I wasn't aware of. I was appreciated really and recommended to other people that they would wish me to continue serving and mentoring them and pushing them. So this topic tonight related to what was happening in the office. You also mentioned that refusal to accept expectations which are not yours. Many people refuse. They embrace expectations which are not meant for them. They are not in their calling. They are not able to perform, and one would refuse to accept and say, you know, this I cannot manage, or this is not me. But you continue to do things that you will not do very well. So if I came to understand that it's better for someone to accept expectations which are clean, you say, listen, that's not me, and I cannot do that, or I cannot, I don't stand for that. So like if you are to testify against somebody, maybe you're lying about that person, and they say you can go and do it and tell lies about that person, you need to stand up and say, that is not me. I will not do it under normal circumstances. I will not do it. So it can be either negative or positive. The uniqueness of a person. It's better. Some people can trade on negative uniqueness to get ahead in life, like the politicians or the people who just want to take businesses off other people. They go blackmail them or backstab them, and that is their uniqueness. For them, they're like, if we paint this person as a bad person, we will go ahead of this person. So that person, many times you find people trading on the bad side to get ahead in life. And yet there are also those who will say, me, I will remain the way I am, no matter what it takes. Whether it's going to take me too long, I will stay, and I will not change myself to go ahead. I will wait for the appointed time for me to be able to be seen. So that is the uniqueness of, in addition to the submission he has made, I'm saying that the uniqueness are two types, the positive and the negative. Which one will you choose to be part of your life? I will choose the positive, the right uniqueness, the one that God created me in, which is good, which blesses people, which pushes them ahead, like the comments they made about me this afternoon. Then the other one is that you express yourself through your skills. Your skills, for sure, bring out your uniqueness. Once you master that this is who you are and this is where your strength is. So when you're given an opportunity to display who you are, you have to do it so well that everyone will say, will clap, will clap for you, will have a hand of applause for you and say, we would like to see you again. Like today, Emeka did a very good presentation. And next time, if we say that he's the one going to do a presentation, I'm sure we are all going to show up and give him a round of applause, and many other people who will come after us. So with that being said, and then he also finally said, comparison. You should take criticism and comparison very well. You should not get offended. Like when you put me, you say, you know, you did well, but not so well. Like Dr. Michael Steele said, you're doing so well, but I want you to be perfect. Criticism, you said you have to be raising up, improving from one level to another, and never give up. It doesn't matter if the criticism makes me feel, but I will change. I will work on it, and I will get better. Finally, I want to just bring up an example of a lady in Dubai. I was seated with Minister US on that table, And there were these presenters, all the presenters had their uniqueness. There are those who were speaking so fast. There were those who were presenting eloquently. There were those who were presenting with a lot of sense in their topics. But there was another one who was
Your Excellency, you're gone. We can't hear you.
Minister, if you remember that, the lady who was
Sorry, Dory, you keep.
She didn't, she only maybe spoke like 3 or 4 lines, but all the time she was just laughing. That was her uniqueness. And before we knew it, she was off she didn't try to copy anybody. She said, they called me. She's the minister. I think she's someone who is, she's in charge of business commerce in Dubai. But then she didn't really have much to submit. But we were entertained, and all eyes were on her after that. She was unique. So you accept to fit in your shoes, feel comfortable, and do your thing. And people will take interest in you after that. So with that being said, I want to request that I stop here and I allow other people to make a submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Doreen. Fantastic. And just a little bit of quotation of what you said. I like when Chekarimeka gave his presentation and he said there was an applaud. People applaud people because you are unique, whatever you're delivering. So your uniqueness of your presentation, we applaud in the class of Steele. On that note, I'm just going to ask His Excellency Daniel to unmute yourself, sir, and tell us your take on the presentation tonight. Your Excellency Daniel, thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I want to greet all the excellencies in the house. And I want to equally greet specifically the presenter, and that is His Excellency Chukwuemeka. Thank you very much. The topic on uniqueness, our personal uniqueness, is very, very important. And he has actually given us a lot of points that indicate that we are actually unique. Yes, I have read that we have, all the people on earth are not the same. When there are no two people that are the same. Even our fingerprints are not the same. And that is actually the handiwork of God. So I want to say that what we heard tonight is exactly what it is. I am unique from every other person, and that is it. When he also emphasized that we cannot we cannot please everybody. That is very, very important, because why many people compare themselves with others and try to behave like others is because they want to please others. And we know that there is just no way we can please others. My uniqueness might offend some people, and some people's uniqueness might equally offend me. So what I'm trying to say is that there is just no way we can please everybody on earth, or everybody we know, even our acquaintances. And again, sometimes parents make a lot of mistakes by comparing their children with others. And they say, hey, why not see the way that person behaves and so on. And some husbands do so also when they compare their wives, to others. And wives also do that. But I believe that when we sit down to study and know the uniqueness of our acquaintances or the people we are relating with, it will help a lot to build that relationship. Because my wife, for instance, cannot behave like me, and I cannot behave like my wife. And I know that I have some positive traits, some positive characters, and she also has some positive characters. I equally have some negative characters, which she might not like. And of course, when I think about this, I also think about temperament, personality. And you'll find out that for me to live with my wife peacefully, I must know her temperament and know those positive things and those negative things. And I must equally know what she doesn't like in me, and try to make some changes. So what I'm trying to say is that uniqueness is very, very important, because just as Chukwuemeka said, things that distinguish us, from others make us unique. And that is very, very important. So I actually thank God for the presentation tonight. And I seriously believe that when we follow this and try to know our own uniqueness, we will be better in our relationship with people. And this will help a lot. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and to talk. And thank you also for everything. I thank Chukwuemeka, thank everybody that has spoken. And of course, I also thank our mentor, Bishop Michael Steele, His Excellency, and Her Excellency, the First Lady, and even their child known as Josh. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. So, good night, all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency Daniel. Absolutely well said, well put together. You actually put it in another aspect, actually, what we never even thought about relationship. And that will go into another realm in that with comparing others, whether to your work, because bosses tend to do that, compare one staff to an next. So that's another area where it could even extend in uniqueness. I'm just going to ask Margaret to unmute herself and tell us your take on uniqueness and what the presentation has offered you tonight.
Thank you very much for the privilege to be part of the class today. And His Excellency Bishop Dr. Steele, thank you so much for connecting me to this group, Class of Steele. Thank you for Chukwuemeka. You did a good job on my personal uniqueness. Well, the remaining people in the class have said a lot, but I just want to say something small that is my take. You said we should focus on things that make us unique. I like that. Focus on them, the things that make us unique. Yeah, if I will focus on the things that makes me unique, of course, I will grow. Of course, I will impact people. Of course, my life will also draw others to uniqueness. So thank you so much for that good job, Chukwuemeka. I really appreciate. So that's the little I have for tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Margaret. That was well said, and thank you for that. Zionist, could you unmute yourself and tell us your take on uniqueness and what you've learned from it? Thanks.
Yes, good evening, all your excellencies in the house. Good evening, Bishop Dr. Michael Steele. I hope you can all hear me. I am so happy to be part of this class looking into the subject of uniqueness. But before I go any further, I'd like to, tender my apologies once again for lateness to the class. Once again, good evening to all the excellencies in the house and to all other participants that is listening to this class lecture today. And a congratulations to His Excellency Chukwuemeka for such an excellent presentation done under the harshest condition of not harshest condition of resiliency. Because at a point I thought when the light went off, that was going to be the end of the presentation. But he persevered and improvised. That to me shows an aspect of uniqueness in character. So thank you again for such wonderful presentation. I listened so attentively, though I came in a bit late, but I grappled very hard to see what I can salvage from the time that I joined. And lo and behold, I got quite a lot. And I also got quite a lot from this submission from every other person that has made contribution this evening. So, personal uniqueness, that which sets me apart from another person, the DNA of my personality, my personal uniqueness. Before I go any further, I'd like to give a quote, and that quote came from Richard Whiteley. He says that it's not that pearls fetch a high price just because men have died for them, but on the contrary, men dive for pearls because they fetch a high price. Pearls is quite unique. Pearls are unique in the sense that men will dive deep at the expense of their life to acquire it. Unique, precious pearl. The pearl is also unique in the sense that it fetches a high price, very costly. The pearl is unique because it stands out among other jewels. That to me is a real definition of being unique. The pearl is unique because it holds value. Other items of jewelry may depreciate over time, but pearls are in a class of their own. Ever admired, well kept, maintains its luster of beauty to the eyes of the beholder. The pearls is unique. You see, the beauty of self-identity, as mentioned earlier, is that it sets one on course to being unique. I take on board what His Excellency Chukwuemeka said, and that spoke to me. He said you can leverage on your unique value to bring something different and bring diversity into situation. And he also mentioned that your uniqueness ought to or should inspire others to be better human beings. You see, the beauty about the pearl is that the uniqueness of the pearl helps to give value and worth to other jewels. Because without pearl, there's no comparison with other jewel. But once you put pearl next to other jewel, the competition is hot. The lady decides which one she wants. And the man starts to rock his pocket, hoping and wishing that she picks the cheaper one. The pearl is wonderful, unique jewel. Why have I used this analogy? I could use them, I could apply the analogy of pearl to myself. Well, men have not had to dive deep to find me, I don't know, not yet. But the beauty of pearl is that it had to be taken from the depth of where it laid silent and brought up, processed, and being put into something that somebody requires, something that is highly desired, precious. So to everyone listening to me, not on the platform and those on the platform, my uniqueness has come in myself, in me identifying that what I have in me, it's something that somebody else will be looking for to better themselves. So I use my height, for example. I use my gray hair, for example. Growing up, I've always wanted to wear platform shoe so that I can get a husband, so I can get married. And that affected me for many years. I put on platform shoe, I go to dance, don't know how to use them. I fall, get embarrassed, come back home, decide I'm not going to use it again, and then try learning how to walk on platform shoe. And this went on for many years. But something happened. The mindset. I see catwalk models. They're skinny, they're tall. They speak to people of their kind. What about me? There are millions of petite people like myself. And then what really got me going was when I found that Dorothy Perkins actually catered for petite people. It helped me to come out of my shelf. When somebody said to me, stop taking your trouser length up, go to Dorothy Perkins. I said, what? I said, yes. There's a whole array of sections devoted to petite women. Then I realized that if that's the case, and there are petite women going out in the street, going into the shop and buying petite clothes. And that was actually true. That changed my mindset, the way I saw myself. However, it was age and wisdom that brought me to the realization that I am actually unique in how God has created me. And then I began to use that advantageously. Most of you would have seen the fact that I don't dye my hair. My hair is gray as gray comes. And I love it now. When I was younger, I see 2 strands of gray hair. I get people picking them up, picking them out of my hair. I don't want nobody to see that I have gray hair. But today, this is my crown jewel. And why am I using those 2 examples? Women come to me to say to me, where do you find the courage? I can tell of my inner circle where I live, women that have jettisoned their wigs and they're wearing their hair naturally now. They tell me they can't afford to get up in the morning without wigs, so their man don't see them without wigs. And I give them an example of Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster is an actress. She walked on the red carpet. She wore no bra. She had flat-chested breasts through a see-through dress. And they asked her the question, why? And she said she's done her bit for humanity. The chest was not flat because God made it flat. She made a sacrifice for another person to eat and grow better. And this is her signature. So you see, those things affect the mindset of the way we think. Living in bondage, thinking that if we don't wear wig to bed, the man would not wake up to find us attractive. thinking that we have to dye our hair. We have to have other people's hair. I have to be tall to be loved. No, 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 no. I realized that the moment I start loving myself, I start exhuming beauty. And so that uniqueness that I never knew was actually a gift to other people, I began to harness it. I began to work on it. And now it became a preaching point in the train station in London, wherever I go to, whether I go to high profile or low profile gathering, I wear my gray hair with such beauty. I package it in a way that it becomes artistic statement. So I am actually inspiring people from that very disadvantaged position I thought I was in the past. And so when we will look at ourselves generally, there are a lot of uniqueness in each one of us. We are work of art. But our character, if it is virtuous, is a work of art. Our features, it is a work of art. When I work with Down syndrome people, if you've ever been with a Down syndrome child or man or woman, they are the most lovable humanity on earth. They have the cleanest love, the purest divine love. And yet we label them as Down syndrome. They're being aborted in the womb because they're Down syndrome. Yet when you come close to them, you would not want to be with any other person. They're so loving, they're so kind, they're so warm-hearted. They have the biggest smile. They are babes, like the scripture said. And so my uniqueness has helped me to give confidence to other people and to inspire other people. But hey, that's not the end of it. I'm sure there is more about me that we unravel as time goes on. Thank you very much. This is my submission, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Zionist, with that submission. It was fantastic. You speak from your heart, and we really salute you on that. Thank you very much. I'm just going to ask Dr. Charles, you just put yourself, we can see your face. Sir, could you give us your take on uniqueness? Just unmute yourself, Dr. Charles. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellencies.
Good evening.
It's been wonderful to be a part of this class of Steele. And I bless God for Your Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele, and Dr. Ures, and all the excellencies in the house. Actually, I was very grateful when I saw Chukwuemeka overcome all the hurdles. I remember what Dr. Michael Steele told me. Say, Dr. Charles, I didn't tell you that the first challenge you face here is you're gonna meet a hot seat. Everybody that has come here, first of all, make the hurdle of the hot seat. And it takes, and we, by this thing, test your character, how you will overcome and continue. I think the power failure and the rest of the things brought out the uniqueness and resilience in Chukwuemeka. And I thank God for him. While he was speaking, I just got that definition which he presented, that uniqueness is the quality or character that makes one stand out. I think I pick it from there. Standing out is what makes you unique. In life, so many people try to copy, to be somebody else. You can only end up being a second hand to whosoever you are copying. But if you know that you are wonderfully and fearfully made, that you are unique, then you tell yourself, how can I develop my uniqueness so that I will be bought wherever I go? I remember there is a man that said that the reason why people are talking about racial discrimination is because maybe you as a black man, you do what a white man can equally do. But if you go out of your way and do what a white man cannot do, nobody will drop you out. And that is when you begin to harness your uniqueness, knowing that there is a reason why the Lord made you the way you are. And there is a signature of God in your life. There is something he wants to bring out of it. And then Did we go to what I noted down while the young man was talking? Originality. I think originality is what makes one unique. And a wise man, we know if you are unique, you have to carve out a niche for yourself. The niche that you carve out for yourself is what makes you unique. And then, how do I work and carve out niche for myself? By pursuing what I call personal development. You don't just stop it at that you are unique. You develop so much to the extent that you will be indispensable. Then everybody will embrace you. Instead of you copying somebody, you will discover that somebody will copy you and begin to talk about you. Say, Chukwuemeka is my idol. So, and how personal development, and then being honest and devotional and humility. And you have to be very, very calm. In being original, calmness will play. Being unique will make you not to, the anxiety will not take over you, whether in life or anything, because you are being unique. I think while he was talking, I was so impressed, and I did what is called clacking. I just wrote down everything because I will go all over again because he really brought out something. So, Your Excellency, I think I will give way in this aspect because I have really got one important thing, standing out. There is something in you that makes you stand out. So find it out, work on it, develop it, perfect in it, then you will be unique. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles. You said it all. Well done, sir. I'm just going to have Olukola to also unmute yourself and tell us your take on uniqueness.
Good evening, Your Excellency, Dr. Donna US. I want to appreciate our mentor, Dr. Michael Steele. Also want to recognize His Royal Highness, King Edwin. And permit me to also recognize Sister Zioness, Dr. Charles, Adeola, and Daniel Supuru, and our teacher tonight. Well done. You did very, very well, but I'm not the one to give you the final pass mark. Uniqueness, my own personal uniqueness. I like the points you made and the research that you did. My own little addition to it is for us to be able to know what is our own unique selling point. Yes, we cannot do many things at the same time. We cannot try to be everything. Yes, we may have up to 4, 5 talents and potentials and things that we can do. But when you now talk of unit, you are talking of one. So what specifically, in addition to all that we can do, so that we are not just average in about 4 or 5 things, but what is that one thing, one unique thing, one specific thing that we can be called an expert? I believe we should be able to narrow down on that, as against just being good in about 3 or 4 things. There must be one thing that still stands out. And if we leave that out, we can miss it. And we can begin to manifest maybe our strength in point A. Then after some time, we manifest in point B. Those 4 items that we are good at, we can begin to manifest and show them, but yet we are not still unique. And that temptation, we can go on like that for years. And that specific area that we are an expert in, we may not even concentrate on it, sorry, not them. So rather than concentrating on our 3, 4, some people are talented in many areas, but you can still narrow down to one specific one. And that specific one is the one we should be able to concentrate on and develop. Of course, it does not mean that we throw aside the other giftings and potentials we have. No, that's not what I'm saying. But we can concentrate on our best, because that is what is going to be our own unique selling point. I think that's my just the little addition I just want to add to the wonderful presentation tonight. I love the class of Steele. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you for your take. And I've just recently saw Bishop Dr. Comfort has come back on. You were on before. I don't know if you want to give us a small take on what the presentation and how much have you heard. Would you like to unmute yourself and tell us what you take on the uniqueness session?
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. O.S., our Chief of Protocol. I salute you.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, Bishop Dr. Michael Steele, the First Lady, Her Excellency, and all the excellencies in this house. Thank you a great deal, Chuka Emeka, for your extensive deliberation on this topic. In fact, it is a good position to be in a unique way, because it brings you to the top. It brings you higher. It makes you a distinct person that people would like to draw to. So I'll also say that because of that, it's an art, and one can co-opt it. If you model your life in a unique way, you will be able to get to places where others are not able to, because people will look to you as being exceptional. And that is what the class of Steele is about, so that when we reach qualities of a difference, and I believe it will really touch the world. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm blessed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Comfort. And we're coming to the close. I'm going to respectfully hand over to Dr. Michael Steele. But before I hand over, I just want to highlight the uniqueness, that one of the things that we have and the platform beyond uniqueness is the class of Steele. The class of Steele is a unique platform. The opportunity that we get, the mentor that we have, Dr. Michael Steele, and the opportunity that we have, and the learning that we have is just beyond our human mind. And just that in itself is a uniqueness. I just like to highlight that we are in a unique group, a unique family, a unique mentoring group. And we just want to salute the founder, Dr. Michael Steele. Dr. Michael Steele, I now respectfully hand over to you, sir, and you do the finishing touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Come on, let's celebrate His Excellency Donald. Yours are Chief of Protocol, and I'm every time I have the privilege of just sitting here and listening to all of you. I sit here as a student quite comfortably. I don't even get anxious to speak, because you guys are really making me proud, all of you here in the class of Steele. Chuka Emeka, I'm going to be responding as your mentor and not your student in class. And I know I'm going to shock you with what I'm going to tell you, but I want for you to appreciate the value of what I'm going to share with you. If you ask me what percentage I give you for delivering on what I've asked you to deliver on, which is my personal uniqueness. That's the subject I give you, my personal uniqueness. And I will be very honest with you, you did a fantastic submission on personal uniqueness. You did very well on defining what it is, on defining how to identify it, on defining ways of securing. You've done a fantastic job of all of those things. But I'm going to give you the mark for this evening's class, and I give you 20% for this evening's class. And I want you to write it down, 20%. You failed this evening's class. You failed miserably. And I want to explain to you why you failed, because it's okay. And it's not a competition or anything like that, but it's about something very specific. I don't know your personal uniqueness. I don't know you, Chuka Emeka, any better. I know everything about personal uniqueness. I know everything about the parameters, the boundaries, the realities, what it is, how it is. But I don't know Chuka Emeka's personal uniqueness. I don't know what it is. I don't know your background. I don't know your culture. I don't know your feelings. I don't know your emotions. I don't know you any better from this submission. And the interesting thing about it is I wanted you to tell me your personal uniqueness. I wanted to know you. You just sat on a platform and you did an excellent submission on the subject of personal uniqueness. You really did. But I wanted you to have an opportunity to sell yourself. I wanted you to sit here and tell us about Chuka Emeka. I'm very hard as a mentor specifically for an important reason. A lot of you would hear me saying, I don't want you to be me. I do not want you to repeat me. A lot of you would hear me say, I don't want you to quote the Bible. I don't want you to be quoting Bible verses. I don't want you to be quoting David and Joseph and all of our wonderful characters that we have, those individuals that have caused our faith to be so strong. I want you. Chuka Emeka, you are going to do this presentation again. And I want to know Chuka Emeka. I was really pleased when I heard Her Excellency Zionist Emeka Curry speaking. I know about her here. I know about her shortness that she wrestled with. I know about the fact that she used to pull out her grill because she didn't like it. I know her. I know her personal uniqueness. I know what is unique about her. I know what changed about her. And anytime I'm asking you to give submissions, I want you. I really want you to grasp your uniqueness. I listen to Adiola and to others that talk about their children, talk about themselves. Our culture kind of teaches us, don't talk about yourself. Don't use the I or the me's. Don't use it. And I want to share something with you. When you devoid yourself of using I and me, you're telling somebody else's story. I hear so many people quoting, this person says this and this person says that. Y'all will seldom hear me quoting people. I don't quote people very often. I do sometimes, which is relevant, but I have a brand that is Dr. Steele. All of you know that I'm a divorcee, I'm a remarried. All of you know about my son. You see my son come here. All of you know the first lady, my family. Are you getting what I'm saying? Come on, wave at me if you get what I'm saying. I want you to see and talk about you. When you get on a stage or a platform, I want you to present you, your experience. I want you to present your challenge. I want you to present what you overcame. Too many individuals are losing their own unique value by sharing other people's stories, by sharing other people's experiences, by sharing what other people learned. Haven't you learned anything? Haven't you grasped anything personally that you want to say? When I was walking down the road the other day, I stumped my toe. Could you imagine? I stumped my toe. And guess what I learned? I decided that I was going to buy another pair of shoes, because if I stump my toe the next time, I have steel tip shoes, so that when I kick that thing I didn't see, I know that I'm going to be okay. And what is my advice to you? My advice to you from what I learned is you need to get steel tip shoes if you're going to walk in an environment that you're not sure how to walk. So what did I just give you? I just gave you my own unique experience. And then I also give you counsel based on my experience. Are you getting it? Are you with me? Chuka Maker, you did a fantastic job.
Yes, sir.
I cannot fault you.
Yes, Excellency.
I cannot fault you for your submission. I cannot fault you for your presentation. Eloquent. You did your research. I even looked at you quoting somebody, and I bit my lip when he told me somebody was talking about 13 ways. I was like, Arr! I wanted you to tell me Chuka Maker's 13 ways or 12 ways or 10 ways. Don't quote somebody. I want you guys to have a brand, to have a uniqueness about yourself. Too many of you are promoting others. Too many of you are singing the praises of others. I want you. I want to know Chuka Maker. I want to know a Nigerian experience. I want to know, what did your culture teach you? What is your people teaching you? What values are you learning? And I'm passionate about that. I'm going to pull it out of you. As a matter of fact, I think 20% is even too much, because I'm really, I wanted you, Chuka Maker. You did me proud on the fact that you stood up to the table. You did me proud, as His Majesty rightly said. I was so proud when I saw the light went out and you carried on. I was proud of you. I was buzzing to just see you have a spotlight in your face and just pretending that the light didn't even go off. Just do your message. And you, Chuka Maker, you made me proud. I'm proud of you. Come on, let's celebrate him. I'm telling you, I'm proud of you. And I wish that I had given you more explanation of what I expected from you. I wish that I'd given you more, that when you delivered today, I know you would have given me a stalwart of a submission about you as an individual, your experiences, and what you bring to the table of the global economy, the global scheme of things. You bring yourself to the global table. As your mentor, I want to say this to a lot of us. I know it is good to quote individuals, but as an ambassador, I want you to be confident that you have a story worth telling. I want you to recognize that your life's journey, your marriage, your divorce, your remarriage, the deaths in your family, your crisis in your job, your crisis in dealing with people, in dealing with your weaknesses, your failures, your sexuality, your mental capacity, your incapacities, your inefficiencies, all of these tenets of your life are important. And if you want to leave a legacy, you have to learn to tell your story. You have to be confident in teaching from your experience, teaching from your exposure. Chukwuemeka, please give me your take on my submission and the marks that I've given you. Please give me your take, Chukwuemeka.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for your mentorship. I did not see the topic from that angle. I quite accept your grading. Actually, the topic said it, but my mind did not go there. My personal uniqueness, and I fumbled. Actually, I accept your grading, and I promise that it will not repeat next time. I will, as you said, when I'm representing the topic, I will definitely stick to what you just said, bring it down to myself and market myself. Thank you, Excellency, for the opportunity.
Now watch this, watch this. You just scored 95% in my class for attitude. You just scored 95% for attitude. Do you know why? There are a lot of people who lose their smile when criticism comes or when things don't go the way they expect them to go. And I'm so proud of you, Chukwuemeka. I'm telling you. And by the way, you don't have to, you don't have to, what's the right word? You don't have to expose what it is I'm going to say now, but you will know when I say it. Yes, it is real. And yes, I and what I do is very real. And yes, you are appointed. I'm just going to leave that with you, Chukwuemeka. Be very confident. It is real. And I'm proud of you. And you are where we say we are putting you. And you've added value this evening. So with that being said, I want to honor His Majesty. Your Majesty, what do you think of my grading? Though I might seem hard, Your Majesty, please, based on my take, encourage the young man. Your Majesty.
Okay. Your Excellency, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Your Majesty. We are hearing you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Like I said, it was so excellent. His presentation and then your rating based on the subject matter is quite impressive because all we are here is to learn, is to improve, is to showcase who our character that makes us to stand out. And I encourage my brother, His Excellency Chukwuemeka. It's not easy, to break the ice. And this is the first presentation. I believe he did marvelously well. He has learned his mistakes. But there is something that is unique about him tonight, that upon the challenges of the light failures, and he was not shaken. I mean, he remains persistent in bringing his fast and making his presentations, then asking the class of Steele to please forgive him. That is something that he cannot manage. This is a unique character. It is for some, they may feel embarrassed, but he did not feel embarrassed. You take it as something that, it's always common with us, and we learn how to deal with it. So I congratulate him for this. And that's something so interesting. So thank you, actually, our mentor. Thank you for being whom you are, being your real self. You're hard, as I need to tell you, you're hard at times, but then that shows your own unique character too. And it will make us to learn, and it will bring us up to what we really desire to be of ourselves coming into this class. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so very much, Your Majesty. We equally appreciate you and your presence. Dr. Charles, you see I've marked him a little hard, but we're now here to comfort him and push him further for his next submission. Dr. Charles, what do you think?
Yes, I think he needs this. Because when we talk about accountability, you really need to have a mentor who will not tell you what you will like to hear, but what you need. I thank God for you, Dr. Steele. This is accountability, giving somebody what the person needs in order to sit up, not what he will like to hear, like telling him, I want to give you 100 because you will like to hear 100. But that 20 makes, in fact, you didn't know what you did though. It wasn't alone. It was, we were all at the background saying, thank God it wasn't me. Because it will actually make us to count the pros and cons and know exactly what he's talking about. What I caught in the whole thing is that you said, don't go and tell people's stories, because people's stories does not make you unique. It is your own story that makes you unique. Thank God for you, sir. I'm very grateful to be associated with this class. Thanks, sir.
Dr. Charles, you just make me laugh so much, because sometimes we so know it. We all do. We so know it, but yet we step out on a platform, and when we give all the quotes and all the acknowledgments and all the stories and experiences of others, then you walk away feeling as if you've done justice to presenting yourself uniquely, and then you realize, wait a minute, you're not unique. You were just Tony Robbins. You were just you were just this person. Oh, you were just TD Jakes. Oh, you were just all these other people. Oh, you were just Joseph of the Bible. Oh, you were just Moses of the Bible. Who are you? Who are you? So a lot of individuals, they do not have a uniqueness. You do not. All of you Christians sit on this platform and you sound the same way. You tell the same stories. You're not unique.
Yeah.
You are unique when you talk about Ricky and Kathy and Michael and Zionist and Oluk Adiola and Donald and you're unique. You're unique when the things about you that you're ashamed about, you wrap them up in testimonies from the Bible because you're ashamed about your own scars that are actually your scars. I mean, your stars. You're ashamed. A lot of us get ashamed of who we are, or the difficulties or the exposures or whatever. We get ashamed of ourselves and we hide behind a mask of religious figures or behind a mask of great teachers because we don't think that we're great ourselves. So we rather quote somebody else. Trust me, I'm great. Trust me. I'm great and I'm unique and I'm powerful and I'm awesome. And you need to hear me. You need to get to know me. And I say that because I want you to say that. I want you to be walking and saying, I'm great, I'm powerful, I'm awesome. I'm not Dr. Steele, I'm not Chuka Maker, I'm Dr. Charles. I want all of us to be ourselves. And if you can't be comfortable telling your story, let me be very honest with you, who is going to tell it?
Nobody.
Who's going to walk and talk about you? Nobody. You need to talk, you need to tell your story. The world needs to know that you lived in London, that you lived in a big house or a small house, or you had a good marriage or a bad marriage or a good family. Or the world needs to know you, because if you don't tell your story, who's going to tell it? Everybody's talking about Rihanna. Guess why? because she's gonna make you talk about her. Why? Because she's gonna do things to stimulate conversation about her. What are you doing to stimulate conversation about you? Zionist is wearing her white hair and putting it in styles and looking good. Look at me. I got this stupid little thing here to a lot of people. This stupid little thing. You gotta look at me and say, dude, what are you wearing that for? Why is it bothering you? It's not bothering you. It's there because it's different. It makes you look at me and says, oh, is that boy that does wear a funny little thing in front of your chin?
Mm.
That's uniqueness.
Yeah, you want to carve out a nick.
When I saw Robert Mugabe, I smiled. When I see what's his name, Adolf Hitler, I smile. Why? Because they have something that is peculiar about them. What do you have that is unique? What do you have about your face that is peculiar? Or are you just fitting in with everybody else? What are your discourses is different. What are your rhetoric is different. What about your ethos is different? How do you think? How do you approach business? How do you approach marketing, your strategy? What is unique about you? And that's what I want to come out from all of us. Now, this is the homework that I'm going to give all of you. I want all of you to write me 10 things about yourself that is unique. Not now, whenever you feel like. But I want you to write 10 things about yourself that is unique and you're proud of. But here's the kicker. You never realized how valuable your uniqueness was. 10 things about yourself. Can I tell you one of the things about myself that I discovered that was unique? That everybody keeps saying, oh, don't say that. Oh, you should. Can I tell you something about me that is unique to me personally? To me? Unique to me is all the experiences that I've had. Born in the UK, raised in Barbados. I went to one of the highest schools in Barbados. And then I think to myself, but Michael, you still did not follow a rhetoric. You still did not follow a normal path. You just like went off the chain. Why? Because I'm unique. I don't want to be like you. I want to live the best me that I can be. My son is 6 years old. 6 years old. Oh, yeah, sorry, 7. I'm sorry, you're 7, Josh. He just had his 7th birthday. He's 7. You see that? No, I'm 7. He's not even going to let me label him at 6. I stay quiet. No, I'm 7. And he knows he knows what he wants. And the beautiful thing about my wife and what we're doing is I am learning to allow him to be unique. I'm learning it. Class of Steele, all of you are unique. Don't try to do it anybody else's way. Don't try to tell somebody else's story. Stop it. Stop believing the only story you have is the Bible story. Please stop it. I'm begging you, please. Stop believing that the only story you could have is because you sit down and you listen to Tony Robbins. I do not listen, or I do not have persons that I feed my ears with. I do not. You're going to ask me, so where do you get your knowledge? I get it from inside of me, looking at experiences, looking at scenarios. I read so much about life stories, and I read so much documentaries. I observe and I learn and I grow. But I want all of you to experience your own uniqueness, your own opinion on the subject. Your own opinion on the things that are around you. Your own opinion. Tell your story. Chuka and Maker, you saved every single body in the class. I see Dr. Charles is smiling at Dr. Charles. I said, I'm glad that was him and not me. I heard Dr. Charles said it. But the beautiful thing about it, Chuka and Maker, is that you know what? You're a trailblazer because you got the opportunity in class to be an example of what to do, how to do. And everybody might smile, but guess what? Guess what? If I had put anybody else on the platform, 90% of the times, they would do exactly what you did. Because what you did is the norm to do. What you did is what everybody else would have done. Give all the experiences, give all the you talk, you this, you that, you this. But they would not give their own personal experience. Architect Olukoya, I want your perspective, please. And I'm going to get ready to close class this evening. My goodness, class was nice this evening. Your Excellency Sylvan Okola, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And just what you said is actually what would have been. Actually, when you first gave the topic, that was what I got. That was what I got, that you want him to talk about himself. But the truth is that when he took the class today, we all followed him. That's the truth. We just flowed with him because he did a very good presentation. So we just went with what he taught. And then it became our line of thought. And then that's why all of us, I mean, it was like everybody was just coming up with, okay, your uniqueness, your uniqueness as opposed to my uniqueness. So I think that's just the and thank you very much for correction. And I know one thing about you is when you give a topic, you're watching out for that topic. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Oh, thank you so very much. Adiola, give your take on the female take on it. Adiola, Your Excellency, Adiola.
Yeah, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for another opportunity to say something. Like you said, from my observation, all this while you've been talking to us, been encouraging us. I know that, whatever you say, you always have personal story, to include, to buttress the point. And then, to make us to have the understanding of what we need to say. And, like when he started today, I private chat my husband that, why is it going this way? And, he responded that it was because, the topic came from this aspect. So I just kept quiet. And, actually he spoke well today. He really presented it very well. And just like my husband said, that was why all of us followed, but from what he said, as he was saying it, I was saying myself, what is in me? What are the things I need to, I need to develop in myself? What are the things, I need to put aside? And, that was why when, I was giving my own take on the topic, I was saying something about us, in this group as leaders, that, we have to do things, we have to have, a personality that will bring the beauty of what we stand for, and, to bring the beauty of what we represent. And, that's why I said something like that. And thank God for all he said to us today. And thank you for the correction, sir. I know that all of us are preparing our mind. Okay, when next you ask any of us to say anything, definitely we know the angle, you want us to the perspective you want us to to look at it and to talk about it. Thank you very much, and God bless her. Bless her.
Thank you so very much. I want to bring this evening's class to a close, and I appreciate you again, Chuka Emeka. Well done in everything you've presented. You've shown character, you've shown ability, and you've also shown desire to be better and to get it right. So Chuka Emeka, I also want to appreciate your friend who has given you the opportunity to utilize the services for this evening's broadcast. I want to appreciate them for allowing you that opportunity. And I hope that it will be added to them as a value in as much as they would have heard your submission, because you did a very good job in dealing with uniqueness. I want to thank Dr. Donald Ewers for a wonderful moderation this evening. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. Ever increasing in proficiency in what you're doing as a moderator. Well done. Thank you for that. Zionist Amaka Curry, Architect Olukoya, Your Majesty, thank you so very much for being with us in the class of Steele this evening. Always an absolute pleasure to have a leader like yourself in our midst who is able also to add value and show that, and as much as leaders have their office and their greatness, there is still always doors open for improvement in our characters, improvement in our relationships and our connections. So Your Majesty, I equally want to appreciate you as well. Bishop Dr. Comfort, Your Excellency Dr. Comfort out of Ghana, and Reverend Daniel, thank you guys so very much for being in the class with us this evening. Those of you on our social media platforms, on our YouTube, on our Facebook, and on LinkedIn, thank you so very much for joining us in another class of Steele submission this evening. We'll see you guys on Wednesday, and on Friday is going to be very special. If you want to join us in the class of Steele, Friday is going to be very special with Her Excellency Dr. Anita Davis, D4. Dr. D4 is a John Maxwell certified trainer, and she is phenomenal in her submissions and in her teaching, and she does great justice and adds significant value to the teaching that we receive in the class of Steele. And of course, we cannot forget on Saturday, where we deal with the youth of Africa, mentoring the next generation of leaders for the regions. I'm His Excellency Dr. Michael Steele, and on behalf of my wife, Jeannie Steele, Her Excellency Jeannie Steele, thank you so very much for being with us. Have yourself a fantastic evening. And by the way, I want all of us to kind of find a theme song. I think we need to have a class of Steele theme song to start with, and a class of Steele theme song to finish with. How many of you think that that's something we should do? Maybe not an anthem, but some instrumental something. I've already got something that's jumping around my spirit that I'm going to share, but I think we should put something together, a nice theme song or instrumental for closing class. With that being said, good evening, good night, and God bless you. Have a fantastic evening, and see you in the next class.
Good night, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And good night, everyone. Good night, Your Excellency.
Good night, to First Lady.
Good night, Your
For the
Excellency.
scrutiny. Good night.
Good night.
Dr. Charles. Dr. Charles, we missed you on Friday night.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, Reverend Daniel. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.